So till now you have one. This is your third version of the national anthem.
Third professional version, yeah.
So what you keep in your mind while composing or making again and again the new version, and how well you will be prepared for that, and what will be your preparations?
So the first version happened because the COP21 was happening. So the COP21 was, as I might have mentioned earlier, it was the biggest conference of nations ever in the history of the world, history of the planet. 195 presidents and prime ministers coming together to discuss how do we mitigate the effects of climate change and how do we make a future that is better for our children and our children's children. So that was a very, very landmark meeting in the history of our planet. Because never before and never after that have 195 world leaders, and we're not talking about secretaries, we're talking about world leaders coming together in one room and having a discussion. So it was a very, very powerful thing. So there, I thought that, all right, if we are going to be doing a version of the national anthem, then we should dedicate it to the forest and wildlife, because the whole country, as I said, needs to understand that, you know, that India is much more than just us human beings. You know, India's got far more biodiversity than just human beings, because somewhere along our journey of being humans, we constantly forget that we are not the only species on this planet, you know. We're just one among millions of species, and coexistence with all of these species is key to our survival as humans. You know, so absolute coexistence is extremely important. That's what I try to portray to that anthem. The second one, as I mentioned about the refugee thing, the refugee anthem, there, it was not my suggestion. It was the refugees' suggestion that let's do a version of the national anthem, and we recorded that. And I was, of course, overjoyed, you know, that they wanted to do a version of the national anthem. And this one was a very conscious decision, which took me 3 months, and I worked very hard on it. So, and probably this is my, sometimes you have your penultimate version, right? Your top version. So I don't think I'll be able to beat this. So that's why this is going to be the version of the national anthem forever, yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations, first of all, and Independence Day is around the corner, and I would like to congratulate for creating such a masterpiece. Since I belong from a defense background of India, and I would like to ask you one generic question. Do you take pride after creating this masterpiece? I'm
generally a very proud Indian. So I'm generally that way. So for me, the national anthem is sacrosanct, and it needs to have a lot of respect, and that's the reason why whenever I do a version of the national anthem, it's always the 52, 53-second version. I don't take liberties with the national anthem. So even in this one, even though it is as creative as I can get, I'm not taking liberties with it. I'm not slowing it down and, you know, and changing the melody and all of that stuff. I'm keeping the melody intact, because for me that is absolutely sacrosanct, and for me I do not want to deviate from that at all. But yeah, the thing is that I guess right now I've not had a moment to sit down and revel in this and take some pride in it, because it's been non-stop action since because I landed in Delhi. Was it yesterday? Yeah. So yesterday I landed in Delhi from London, and yesterday in the morning, and then I had a similar press conference. No, it was Mumbai. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So I landed in Mumbai yesterday, and I had a similar press conference over there in the afternoon, and then in the evening I had a concert in Mumbai, and then I landed over here in the morning. And then I had some engagements in the morning, and then now I'm doing this. So basically, I'll probably get some sleep only after this releases. But the thing is that since there's no major label support for this, and you know, it's not like this is with a T-series or something like that. It's basically completely 100% self-funded. There is no corporate entity involved. Only the generosity of people like Leela, like, you know, for doing these press conferences, but no corporate entity is involved. There is no branding involved. Zero branding on this particular thing. So the only way we can get this spread far and wide is if everybody chip in, you know, everybody posted on the social media. As I said, that I do not want it to be like it's on my YouTube and all of y'all share a link, or it's on my Instagram and everybody share a link or whatever. Please share it on your own social media. That's what I want it to be. And even if you want to have a note before it, you know, like have a short video of you describing the anthem and then do the anthem, that's also totally fine. But just try to spread this version of the national anthem far and wide, so that this becomes sort of like a definitive version and not what is played in the theaters today, you know. So
Absolutely, you have made us proud before, and you will be doing that again and again.
Now, talking about defense, we've done quite a few concerts for the army. The greatest concert, at least what I consider to be the greatest concert of my life, was in Kargil Divas, celebrating 20 years of Kargil Divas in 2019.
Okay, I have a short note to add to this. Is my father is an Kargil War veteran.
Wow, amazing.
I come from that background, so I know what it means to listen to the Indian national anthem.
Yeah.
Every time I listen to it, it gives me a lot of goosebumps.
Yeah.
And right now, you're saying just the right thing. Thank you so much for creating.
So Kargil Divas we had performed for celebrating 20 years of Kargil Divas, and we did this performance in Leh at an elevation of 12,000 feet. With the Shanti Stupa as my backdrop, with 12,000 army soldiers wearing uniform in front of me as my audience, a 2-hour concert. It was easily the greatest experience ever of my life. And then we've done a lot of other concerts for the army at the MEG Center in Jodhpur and a bunch of other places. So performing for the army has always been an absolute privilege for me. Thank you. Sure. Her question was that how long did it take for me to come up with this arrangement? Of course, the composition is not mine. The composition is Rabindranath Tagore's. But for me, I've just decorated it in a completely different way. So yeah, it took me about 3 months to do this, because you have to write all the parts for all the different sections and all the different instruments. Those sheets need to be kept in front of the musicians and they play it. So it's quite a complicated thing. There are people who can do it faster, but for me, I took my own sweet time, and I also had a friend of mine in Nashville to help me out with this. So basically that. To answer your question, it was about 3 months of work.
Brilliant. I have one more question. What is the next top theme that you're working on for your music?
So I'm coming up with another album with Stuart Copeland, the drummer of the Police. One of the said Rolling Stone has called him the greatest drummer in the history of music. He just so the last album that I did, which won 2 Grammys, was Divine Tides with him, and we're releasing another album on the 18th of this month. So it's an album called Beyond Borders. So that album will be releasing on the 18th. So that's the next thing. But talking about the anthem itself now.